Hello everyone, this is Iheb, and today I'm with my friend and colleague Esteban.
Good day everyone.
And in this video we are going to show you how to install the Gentoo Linux step by step.
We have to go to the gentoo.org page to download our versions. We are going to use AMD64 version because for ARM64 is for embedded devices. So the best the recommended is using the minimal installation CD for AMD64. We are going to download the file. We cancel the downloaded because we already have the file in our computer. So let's go to the VMWare to create the virtual machine. So we are going to use VMware because for VirtualBox in this case the installation is totally different. So this video is just for VMware installation. So to create the VMware machine, the virtual machine, we have to click on create the virtual machine, next, and then we have to select the file that we already downloaded. Selected, you see that we have a little bit warning, but it doesn't matter. We are going to work on it on the next page. So go next, and here we have to select the other option and the version of FreeBSD version 10 on earlier for the operating system. Click next, and you name it whatever else you want. For us is Gentoo Exam, doesn't matter the name. Click next and select the folder that you are going to use to save the project. In this case, Gentoo Exam in this case. So click next. Okay, here we are going to modify this space. In this case, the minimum recommended is 64. We are going to use 70 just in case, and we are going to select the store virtual disk in a single file. It's just highly recommended. Remember that 70 is the most appropriate disk space in this case. So we are going to use the custom hardware. As the next step, we are going to increase the memory RAM space to 2 GB, and after that we are going to modify the number of processor and the number of core processor to 2. So number of processor to 2 also. Okay. So after that, we already have our details of our virtual machine, and we are going to finish to create it. So there you go. We have our Gentoo virtual machine already created, and we are going to start with the configuration. So we start our virtual machine. So in this case, in this step, we are going to boot on the live CD as Gentoo. So we type Gentoo, enter, and the next step after booting is select the proper language. In this case, we are going to select number 18 because our keyboard is in French. So we have to select 18. Now we are going to use the command fdisk to create the partition. We are going to use fdisk/daf/sda. In this case, we have the different commands to help, like for example, P for print, new for new partition, D to delete an existing partition, T to change the type of an existing partition, A to activate a partition, and so on and so forth. So we are going to use the letter N to create a new partition. After that, we have to select the P to primary partition, and then we are going to select the number 1 for the partition number. The first sector is as default, and the last sector should be 128 megabytes. In this case, you should put it like plus 128 M to define the size of the first sector. Okay. And we can use the P option to print the partition, to print the partition that we have created. And then we are going to create the second one as we did before, but in this one we are going to use 4 gigabytes from the last sector, because it's a swap partition. And we are going to create the third one for the rest of the disk. So in this case, and for the new one, P for primary, and it is number 3, and the first sector and the last sector as the file. We can use the letter P to see the partitions that we have created. We are going to use the letter A to change the first part as a boot. We select the first part. For the second partition, we have to use the letter T to change the type, and we are going to use as a swap. So T and select the second number, and here we have a list of different types of or different kinds of options that a partition could be. In this case, we are going to use the 82, number 82 as a swap, or you can type swap. In this case, we use also the letter P to see if our changes was made. So in this case, we see that the second part is the swap partition, and the first one is the boot partition. Finally, you have to use the letter W to save all the changes that we have made. The recording. Stop? No.
Okay. Now we move on to this one.
Oh.
So you said we are going to format each partition.
But stop. The recording. Yeah. So right now we are going to format each partition. The first partition, the number 1 partition, has to be ext2 and not encrypted, since it contains the encryption software. So we are going to use the mkfs.ext2/dev/sda1 command. So there you go. And after that, we are going for the second partition. This is the encrypted and the swap partition, so we have to use this command: crypt setup lux format /dep/sda2, whatever password you want, it doesn't matter. And the partition number 3 is also encrypted, so we have to use exactly the same command, like crypt setup lux format /dep/sda number 3. And choose a password. Whatever password you want. Next step, we have to mount the partitions so we can start using them to store our files. The second partition will be the swap partition, so we have to open it and map it to a meaningful name, for example swap in this case. We have to use the next command: crypt setup lux open /dep/sda2 swap. Format the swap partition with the command mkswap/dev/mapper/swap, and we can enable it to let the system start using it with the command swap on/dev/mapper/swap. Okay, we can use the free -n command to print the information about memory and swap, so we have it here. The next step is open the root partition, the last partition. We have to use the command crypt setup lux open /dev/sda3 as a root, and we need to format this partition to ext4. In this case, we are going to use the mkfs.ext4 /dev/mapper/root command. Now we are going to mount the current root partition to /amnt/gentoo folder. To do this, we are going to use the command mount /dev/mapper/root /mnt/gentoo. The next step is download and extract stage 3 archive. We are going to change the directory to /mt/gentoo, so the downloaded file gets saved there. We are going to use links on the command line browser to visit www.gentoo.org. Then download the latest stage 3 AMD64 desktop. We have different options. For us, we are going to download the stage 3 AMD64 desktop systemd archive for AMD64 that we are going to use in it. Then we are going to decompress the archive to the local folder. In this case, we are going to use the command tar to the flags X to extract, V for verbose, P for preserve owners and permissions, and F to force overwrite an existing file. And we select the file that we downloaded. Okay, after this, we are going to prepare the ch root to the new environment. First of all, we have to copy the DNS configuration to the new environment. Using the command cp/etc/resolve.com /mt/gentoo/etc. Then we are going to copy the Gentoo Iheb repository configuration. Using the mkdir /emt/gentoo/etc/portage/repos.com. We have to copy the Gentoo Iheb repository configuration from Gentoo share portage config repos.com to the directory that we have built. The next step is binding the K file system to the new environment. So in this case, we are going to use the mount --type /proc/ to the mt gentoo proc. Now we are going to use the command mount --rbind /sys/mnt/gentoo/sys, and then we are going to use the same command for mnt gentoo deb and for mnt gentoo run. And after that, we are going to use the mount command, but with the flag --make --r/slave to exactly the same three folders: sys, deb, and run. After doing this, we are going to change the root using the command chroot to the empty gentoo /bin/bash. Now we are in the new environment called chroot that we created. Okay, after this, inside the chroot, make sure that etc that the file result.conf in etc is available, otherwise created it using the command echo quotes name server. You can put whatever server name that you want, and save it to the /etc/result.conf. And then we are going to sync the repository using the emerge-web rsync command. After the synchronization of the repositories, we are going to mount the boot partition. To do this, we are going to use the command mount /dev/sda1 /boot. Then we have to set up the time zone and locale. To set up the time zone, we are going to use the command ln-sf in the folder user share zone info Europe. In this case for us is Paris, because we are in Paris. You can select whatever country or whatever city are you in, to the folder etc local time. Now when we are going to set up the locale, to do this we are going to modify the file /etc/local.gen file by removing the comment in US English, both of them, and save the file and regenerate the locales using the command local-gen. So after that we have to select our locale by using this command select local list. We have to wait. With that we can see the different options. Next we are going to select our locale using the command eselect local set. In this case for us it's number 6 for US English. And after that we have to update our profile using the command source/etc/profile. So after this we are going to make sure that create setup use flag is enabled. So to do this we have to modify the file make.conf using the nano/etc/portage/make.conf. After this we are going to add the line use equal using the double quote crypt setup. Save the file. Then we are going to update all the changes that we have made using the command emerge -update -quiet -new use -deep space to update all the changes that we have made.
Two hours later.
So hi again everyone, this is Iheb, and from this part I will take on. So for this step we are going to install the Gentoo Linux kernel. So we run the command emerge gentoo-sources. It's done. So next is we have to configure the kernel, which is the most important step, because this is like the main thing of this video is to harden the kernel, like, so we need to modify some changes in the kernel. So we go to cd user slash src slash linux, the linux folder, it doesn't matter like which version you have. And in here we have to run the command make menu config. And here we have the kernel GUI, so we can use the arrow keys to navigate the menu. So the first thing we need to do is to enable systemd. So we go to Gentoo Linux, and then here we go to support for init systems. And we enable systemd. As you can see, it's a star. Now we go back, and then we have to enable some general settings to support the ext2. So first thing, we go to device drivers. Next we find multiple devices driver support. Let's look for that, and there you go. And now we have to so we have two options needed, which is device mapper support and crypt target support. So for the device mapper support, I believe it's enabled by default, as we can see down there. Yeah, it's enabled. So we have to enable crypt target support. We go back and we go look for graphic support, which I believe is down here. There you go, graphic support. And we have to go to frame buffer devices. Frame buffer devices, I believe it's down here as well, and we enable the option support for frame buffer devices as a star, not as a module. So when you see an AM, it's a module, and when it's a star, it's like a built-in. So it's like built into the kernel, yeah. So now we go inside, like we click enter once more, and we are going to enable VESA and VGA graphics support, which is down there. Okay, now we exit twice, we exit once more, and once more, and we go to file systems. And inside file systems, we have to enable several options here. So the first one we're going to enable is right beneath us, which is second extended FS support. The second one we need to enable is Fuse. It's file system in uppercase support, which is down there. Okay, now we go back and we go to cryptographic API. Okay, and here as well we have to enable some multiple options. So for the first one, we need to enable user space cryptographic algorithm configuration, which is beneath, yeah, down there. Okay, there, and enable as a star. Then we need to enable XTS support, which is down here. Okay, there you go, as a star as well. And then we have to enable the SHA-1 digest algorithm. It's down, and yeah, there you go, as a star. Then we go to user space interface for hash algorithms. Yeah, so that one is built into the kernel by default. So we have to enable user space interface for symmetric key cipher algorithms as a star. Okay, now we exit once and we go to security options above, and here we have to enable the Diffie-Hellman operations on retained keys, which is the fifth option, sorry. Now we have to enable some options. This is like we mentioned in the beginning, since we are doing this configuration in VM, we have to in VMware we have to enable some VMware related options. So for like a VirtualBox, you can find like a documentation in the official website of Gentoo with the options that you need to enable for VirtualBox. And this one we are going to enable for VMware. So the first thing we need to do is go back, and then we go to processor type and features, and here we have to enable Linux guest support. Now we go back to device drivers, and here we have to go to MISC devices. Press down, okay, there you go, and then we go to VMware VMCI driver. Enable it as a module. This one is as a module, not built into the kernel. And then we go up to enable VMware balloon driver, which is there as a module as well. We go back and we go to SCSI device support to enable SCSI low level drivers. Which is, yeah, there you go, enable as a star as well. Then you click enter to go inside and we have to enable VMware PVSCSI driver support. I believe this one is okay. I cannot see it here. Okay, go. Okay, there you go. Enable as a star. We have to go back twice and we go to Fusion MPT device support. We enable it as a star, and inside Fusion MPT device support we have to enable the Fusion MPT SCSI host drivers for SPI as a star. So we go back and we go to I2C support, and here we have to go to I2C hardware bus support, and inside that we have to enable the Intel PIIX4 as a module. Okay, there you go. We exit twice and we go to network device support, which is up there, and inside here we have to enable VMware VMXNet 3, which is down, I guess. Yeah, I cannot see it here, so keep going down. Okay, there you go. Enable it as a star. We exit once. We go to graphic support. Where is graphic support? It's down, I believe. Okay, there you go. Go inside, and now we have to enable DRM driver for VMware Virtual GPU. There you go. Enable as a star. And then we have to, just beneath it, we have to enable frame buffer console under VMWGFX by default. Then finally we have one more thing to do, which is we have to exit twice first. Okay, now we go to networking support, which is just above, and here we have to go to networking options, and we go look for virtual socket protocol. So virtual socket protocol is down here. Okay, there you go. Enable as a star. And just beneath virtual socket protocol we have to enable VMware VMCI transport for virtual socket as a module. So enable that. Now like the kernel configuration is done finally. So we go back, exit, another exit, and we save. And now we need to compile the kernel and modules and deploy them. We run the command make make modules and make modules underscore install, and finally and make install. We have to wait.
Many unbearable hours later.
Okay, the wait is done finally. Then for the next step we need to prepare the bootloader and init frames. So the first thing we have to do is to accept all licenses and set the PC use flag to grab bootloader. So the first thing to do is nano /etc/portage/make.conf, enter, and we have to go to underneath the use flag we have to type the grab the underscore platforms equal quotes PC, and then we have to accept underscore license equal star. Star means like everything, we have all license. Okay, we save the file, we exit, we run the command emerge --quiet gen kernel grab to install the gen kernel so we can build our init ramafest and grab bootloader. Okay, now we have to set the default kernel. So to do that we run the command eselect kernel list. We can use the command eselect kernel set and type 1, or you can also type the name, but it would be easier to just type 1. Next we have to generate the init ramafest. So to do that we run the command gen kernel --looks init ramafest, enter. And it's done. Now we need to set up automatic re-encryption of the swap partition using a new one at every boot. So we have to create a file called cryptab, and here we type this line, so swap tab /dev/sda2 and then another tab like space /dev/urandom and swap. Save the file, exit. Next we configure the partitions mount points in /etc/fs tab. So we go nano etc/fs tab, go down, and we have to add this configuration. So /dev/sda1 go there, /boot, for this one it's gonna be boot, the first partition, ext2 and defaults with an S, no a time, and then that's all. Let me go back a bit. Then we do 0 and 2. We go down for the next one, dev mapper swap. This one is gonna be none, it's the swap partition, and S and SW. This one is gonna be 0 0. The final one is dev mapper root. So we're gonna put a slash as root and ext4 and no a time, 0 1, and that's it for this file. So next we save, exit, and now we have to configure the default options for grub configuration. So we edit the file in etc default grub, and we have to uncomment the grub cmd line Linux, uncomment it, and inside there we have to type this line. So it's crypt underscore root equal to /dev /spa3 space the root equals to dev mapper root, and save and exit. Okay, next we have to install the grub bootloader. So we run the command grub dash install /dev /spa, and this time it was good. So next we need to generate the grub configuration file, which is grub.cfg. So we need to run the command grub dash mkconfig and -o, and in boot grub dot cfg. Now it's generating to that file, and it's done. Okay, now we are almost ready. We are almost ready for the reboot, and before the reboot we have to do more, like we have to configure some more steps. First one being is like choosing a root password with the command -wd. You choose whatever password you want. Okay. Next we have to edit the host file, and here in this example I will put Gentoo VM, which is going to be our host name. So save, exit. So let's get the device name, because we need to configure the DHCP for the network card, which is EMP2S1. And then we need to create a network profile. So nano etc systemd network, and then we name it whatever we like. In this case I will put 50-dhcp.network. It has to be .network. And here we add these lines. So the first one match, and then we put our device name. So in our example it's EMP2S1. Then we put network and DHCP equals yes. Save. Now we're going to add the host name. So nano etc host name and Gentoo VM. Okay, save, exit. Now we have to enable network and DNS services at boot time. So let's check the list of available services. For us, we are going to need the systemd network service and the systemd result service. And as we can see, okay, there they are. They're not enabled, so let's enable them. systemctl enable systemd dash network d dot service. Okay, Okay, there you go. The second one is resolved. And there you go. Now let's set up a machine ID to allow the HCP to get an IP. So let's run the command systemd dash machine dash ID dash setup, and there you go. Okay, now we are ready for the reboot, but before the reboot I highly recommend, you see in this VMware, I highly recommend like you take a snapshot, because just in case like anything happens, like anything wrong happens with the snapshot, it's gonna be saved like in this state. So if anything if anything wrong happens, you can always go back to this stage, so you don't lose anything you did. So I highly recommend taking a snapshot. So let's do it. Click that icon, you give it whatever name you like, a description, and take a snapshot. So let's wait a bit, and it's done. Now we have to exit the sh root environment, so we reboot. Run the command reboot, and let's wait. Okay, so enter the passphrase for the passphrase you did for the dev SDA3 partition, because it's the one that contains the system and everything. And there you go, we have no problem, everything is okay. So here our login is root, and then the root password that we set, password, and there you go, clear. Okay, now that we rebooted successfully, let's set up a host name via systemd now. So let's run the command hostname ctl set dash hostname Gentoo VM. Okay, done. And because I have the French keyboard, so let me change that. So let's run the command localctl set dash keymap and fr. You see now it's AZERTY. And the same thing for x11 keymap. So localctl set dash x11 dash keymap fr, and done. Okay, now we need to create a new user. So in my case I will call it Iheb Esteban. So let's run the command user add dash m dash capital G, and let's give it like, you can give it whatever role you like. So in my case I will give it users and wheel and audio and video dash s and bin bash, and I'm gonna call it, as I said, Iheb Esteban. Okay, done. Now we have to set a password. So let's do passwd and Iheb Esteban, and give it whatever password you want. Let's see, user. Okay. retype the new password, and done. Okay, now for the next part we have to because our kernel is like a desktop environment, so we have to install the desktop environment. So because the Gentoo version we chose supports like desktop environment, let's install a desktop environment now. So first thing we have to do, let's modify the video card's variable to limit drivers to VMware only. So the reason why like we need some VMware configuration is like afterwards, after we install the desktop environment, we can have like we have the possibility to copy paste, for example, or like go full screen, and like being able to use the VMware tools, which is like very nice and helpful. So let's go and modify the make.conf file, and we go add video cards equal to VMware, save and exit. Okay, now let's create a package.use file to enable use flags for specific packages. So let's create a file called all in package.use. So and let's add the following lines. So x11 libs slash lib drm space libkms. Go down, and now media dash libs slash mesa xa. We save the file and we exit. Now let's install the xorg server with i3 window manager like I mentioned before. Emerge dash dash quiet space xorg dash server space i3 space i3 status. Like these are some optional things, like you add whatever you like. So we can, for example, do as well like the i3 clock, the D menu, and personally I prefer Terminator as a window splitter. So let's choose Terminator because it gives you the possibility to split windows. And here's gonna take a lot of time, so see you in a while.
So much later that the old narrator got tired of waiting and they had to hire a new one.
Finally. That took a lot of time, honestly. Now we need to create a script to start the i3 automatically when logged into TTY1. So we have like different TTYs, like for example, if you click Alt and F1, that's TTY1. If you click Alt F2, that's 2. So let's set it for for the first one, TTY1, to run automatically when we log in as Iheb Esteban. So we need to create a script to do that. So first thing we need to do is nano home Iheb Esteban, and then dot bash underscore profile, and we add underneath we add this simple script. So shop dash q login shell and data slash dash g 0. Just follow this simple script and everything will be fine, hopefully. Sorry for that. Okay, TTY1, we said we're gonna do it for TTY1, and you can choose whatever TTY you want, by the way. For us it's gonna be 1, and display. Finally execute start text. Okay, that's it. That's all we have to do. Now we save the file. Exit, and then we need to edit the .xinit.rc to run i3 when start text is executed. So let's do nano /home /Iheb Esteban .xinit.rc, and let's add this simple line, which is exec space i3. Okay, that's it, we're done. Now we are ready to install VMware tools. We need to merge open-vm-tools. That's done. The next thing we have to do is we need to create a systemd unit service to start VMware tools at boot time. So what we have to do is we have to create a file nano etc systemd system /VMware tools .service, and then we add these simple lines. So unit, and we add a description. Okay. Okay. And then service, and then we have to set it to execute, like we have to exec start equal /user bin vmtoolsd. PID file equal /var lock subsys VMware. We add these several options. Okay, next is timeout second equal 0, and then remain after exit equal to yes. Okay, now install wanted by, and by the way, make sure that everything I type is the same because it's case sensitive, so be careful about that. Multi-user target, and it's done. So we save the file, exit, and then we have to enable the service so it starts automatically at boot. So we do systemctl enable VMware tools, and done. Now if we reboot and log in as the user we created, Iheb Esteban, we will find that we will see that the VMware tools, like the desktop environment and everything has started automatically with VMware tools. Like if we go full screen, it will feel so nice. So let's reboot. Okay, the passphrase. Esteban. Don't forget we made it for Iheb Esteban. Password. Okay, so the first time you log into this the i3, you will be asked to make some first configuration, which is straightforward and simple. So for this one, let's choose yes, and then you can choose like the window or alt key, depends, like whatever you like. I will keep it as default, and then using that key we click, for example I left it as window key, so window and enter, and it will start the i3 window one. Okay, you see that and it's full screen. That's because of VMware tools, which is so nice. Okay, perfect. Now we're done, like everything is done. This is like completely perfect. We had no errors, nothing. So at this stage you are completely fine. So for the next step, which is optional, let's for example install some desired applications depending on whatever we like to use. So let's for example install Firefox, and let's configure it to, for example, to have no audio or video support. So let's first go to disable those features like audio and video support. So nano etc portage make.conf, and go to use flag, and add these options. So minus ALSA, minus pulse audio, and minus FFmpeg. Oh my bad, I forgot that we are in Iheb Esteban, so we need to change to root user. So let's say, okay, so to show you the thing I talked about, like when you clicked Alt and F2 for example, let's do it there. So let's click Alt and so for in this case now it's Control Alt and F2, because we installed the i3 window manager. It's no longer like Alt and F2, it's Control Alt and F2. So let's try it. So we went to TTY2 and let's log in as root. So type as you can see here, like we don't have the i3 window manager because we set it to start up automatically just for TTY1. So for TTY2 you have to run it yourself. So let's edit the file nano etc portage make.conf. So minus ALSA, minus pulse audio, and minus FFmpeg. Save the file. And let's go back to the other window, Control Alt F1, and here if we check it, we will see that the changes are made. Okay, so now let's install Firefox. So to do that, let's do emerge firefox.-bin and -q. Oh my god, I forgot again. We need to be in root again. Yeah, so switch user to root, password, and let's do it. Emerge firefox-bin-q. Okay, now if we click for example the window or alt key plus D, we will see that there's like a bar in the top left corner, and there you can type anything you want. So for example, if we type Firefox, we will get like Firefox, and we can simply click on it and it will open up Firefox, and there you go. So you see, like when you hover your mouse to like Firefox or the terminal, it will then it will be focused on. So you don't have to click, you just have to hover your mouse to be focused on one thing. So if you hover your mouse into Firefox, you'll be using Firefox, but if you hover your mouse over like the terminal, you'll be able to type there. So I think that's pretty much everything. Like it was this was kind of fun, and thank you for watching. It was fun.